Welcome to my channel, Valuable Coins All World. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end. You won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. In the world of coin collecting, few coins spark as much curiosity and conversation as the Lincoln 1-cent penny. Minted for over a century, these small copper coins hold big stories. Today, we dive deep into one such coin, the 1966 Lincoln penny, a coin that might just be hiding in plain sight, with a value that could change your life. Imagine stumbling across a coin that has been sitting quietly in a jar or drawer, never realizing it's a rare gem. That's exactly the case with certain 1966 Lincoln pennies. At first glance, it looks like any other old penny. But there's more to this coin than meets the eye. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, America's beloved 16th president. It's designed by Victor D. Brenner has remained a timeless tribute, with only minor modifications over the years. By 1966, America was going through a time of great change. The Vietnam War was ongoing, civil rights movements were rising, and the U.S. Mint was facing major production demands. This led to several unique factors that affected coin production in that year. Due to a nationwide coin shortage in the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint made a bold decision. They suspended the use of mint marks from 1965 to 1967. That means the 1966 Lincoln penny won't have the usual D or S mint mark to tell us where it was made. This one small detail makes it trickier for collectors to determine the origin of these coins, but it also increases the intrigue around them. Why were mint marks removed? The mint hoped it would stop people from hoarding coins based on their mint origin, which had become common at the time. What makes the 1966 penny especially exciting isn't just its history. It's the possibility of rare errors and variants that exist. In coin collecting, errors often mean added value. And the 1966 penny has a few fascinating ones to talk about. One of the most sought-after errors in 1966 Lincoln cents is the double die obverse, where the design on the front of the coin appears slightly doubled. If Lincoln's profile or the inscriptions look fuzzy or duplicated, you might just have one of these valuable errors. Then there are planchet errors, where the metal blank used to strike the coin is flawed. Some 1966 pennies were accidentally struck on foreign coin blanks or thin planchets, making them lighter or oddly shaped. These strange quirks can multiply a coin's value tremendously. Another interesting factor is the condition of the coin. In numismatics, this is referred to as the coin's grade. The higher the grade, the more pristine the coin, and the higher the potential value. Coins graded MS 67 or above, meaning mint state, are incredibly desirable. Think of it like this. Millions of pennies were made in 1966, but only a few have survived in nearly flawless condition. Most have scratches, wear, or corrosion. But the few that haven't, those kept safe, untouched, or accidentally forgotten, are now worth hunting for. Collectors also look for color in Lincoln pennies. These come in red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. A 1966 penny with a bright original red luster, especially in mint condition, can be incredibly rare and far more valuable than its duller counterparts. Interestingly, 1966 was the last year the penny was composed of 95% copper before a gradual shift toward using more zinc began in later years. The older copper pennies are heavier, richer in tone, and more appealing to collectors who value original metal content. Let's also talk about proof coins. Although 1966 wasn't an official year for proof sets, the Mint did release special mint sets, SMS. These coins have a smoother, shinier appearance, almost like a hybrid between regular coins and proofs. Some 1966 SMS pennies have commanded impressive prices at auctions, but what's even more thrilling is the hunt itself. Coin collectors, also called numismatists, often find great pleasure in searching through rolls of coins from banks or collections bought online, just hoping to uncover a valuable rarity like a 1966 era penny. You might be surprised to know that some of the rarest 1966 Lincoln cents have been found in circulation, hiding in pocket change. It's a reminder that valuable treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, even in the palm of your hand. But let's not forget that coin values also depend on demand. Right now, vintage U.S. coins are experiencing a surge in popularity as new generations take an interest in collecting. This rising demand is pushing prices higher for coins that were once ignored. If you're new to coin collecting, the 1966 Lincoln penny is a perfect place to start. It teaches you about U.S. history, minting practices, era varieties, and the thrill of discovering something others may overlook. You should always inspect coins carefully with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for doubling on letters, unusual textures, odd weights, or anything that feels off. These are often clues that you might be holding a rare variation. Online auction platforms like eBay or heritage coin sites have listed 1966 Lincoln pennies for hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on their rarity, condition, and errors. But the most astonishing examples have gone for jaw-dropping figures. One such coin, an immaculate, high-grade 1966 Lincoln penny with exceptional red luster and rare die features, recently turned heads at an auction and became the stuff of collector legends. It's important to store valuable coins properly. Use coin holders, capsules, or albums designed to prevent damage. Even one fingerprint can lower a coin's value significantly over time. Some collectors get their coins certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. This gives the coin a guaranteed grade and authenticity, which can increase its resale value. Many people have coins stashed away in old jars, drawers, or inherited collections. If you have a bunch of old pennies lying around, it's absolutely worth your time to check the dates and conditions. The next treasure might be sitting right in front of you. The 1966 Lincoln penny reminds us that sometimes, even the smallest coins can carry big secrets. They tell stories of history, minting decisions, and mistakes that transformed ordinary change into extraordinary value. As time goes on, fewer of these high-quality coins remain, making each rare 1966 penny even more valuable with every passing year. The market continues to grow, and demand for quality, error, and historical coins shows no signs of slowing. And now, here comes the moment you've been waiting for. The reason this coin has stunned collectors and casual viewers alike. A single, top-grade, rare error 1966 Lincoln penny was recently valued at a staggering $186,000. Yes, you heard that right. A humble penny, just 1 cent in face value, sold for more than some houses, all because of its condition, rarity, and historical intrigue. That's why it's worth taking a second look at your old coins. You never know what hidden wealth you might be holding. The next time you come across a 1966 Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of American history and a small fortune in your hand. And if you enjoyed this journey into the story of the 1966 penny, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel Valuable Coins All World, where we uncover treasures from your pocket change and bring the coin collecting world right to your screen. Keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, the next big discovery might just be in your loose change. Top 2. Have you ever wondered if a simple penny in your pocket could be worth a fortune? If so, you're not alone. Coin collectors around the world are constantly searching for those rare and valuable pieces hidden in plain sight. One such treasure is the 1967 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that seems ordinary, but in the world of numismatics, it holds incredible potential. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in American history. Introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it has remained in circulation for over a century with few changes. The year 1967 was a unique time in American history. The nation was deep into the Vietnam War, the civil rights movement was gaining momentum, and the Cultural Revolution was in full swing. Amid this backdrop, the U.S. Mint was busy producing billions of coins for a growing economy. However, 1967 was no ordinary minting year. Like the years just before it, 1967 was part of a period when the U.S. Mint decided not to include mint marks on coins. That means whether your penny was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, it looks the same, with no mark to identify where it was made. This move was designed to discourage collectors from hoarding coins based on mint origin during the coin shortage of the mid-60s. But in hindsight, this decision created mystery and added allure to certain coins, including the 1967 penny. While the 1967 Lincoln cent looks just like any other old penny, some of them have variations and minting errors that have turned them into collector's gold. These errors are what make this penny stand out and command high prices at auctions. One of the most exciting types of errors found in 1967 pennies is the double die obverse. This means the design on the front of the coin was accidentally struck twice, creating a doubled appearance on Lincoln's face, the words, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty." Even a slight doubling can drastically increase a coin's value. These coins often go unnoticed in circulation, so it's entirely possible to find one just sitting in an old change jar or piggy bank, quietly holding its worth. Another error to look out for in the 1967 Lincoln penny is the off-center strike. These occur when the coin isn't properly aligned in the press during minting. Depending on how far off it is, these coins can be worth a few hundred to several $1,000s. There are also die cracks and die breaks, where wear and tear on the dies used to strike coins result in raised lines or bumps on the surface of the coin. While common, some die cracks form unique shapes, making them especially desirable to collectors. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. Most coins show signs of wear, but a 1967 penny in mint state condition, with its original shine and details perfectly preserved, is much rarer and far more valuable. Grading plays a big role in coin value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless specimen. A 1967 penny graded MS, 67 or higher can be worth hundreds or even thousands, depending on other factors like color and luster. Speaking of color, Lincoln pennies are categorized by tone: red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. A bright red 1967 penny in mint state condition is far more valuable than a dull brown one with scratches or corrosion. The metal composition of the 1967 penny also adds to its appeal. At that time, the coins were still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, making them heavier and more substantial than today's zinc-based cents. Now, let's talk about special mint sets, or SMS coins. Since 1967 was not a regular proof year, the U.S. Mint released SMS coins instead. These were made for collectors and have a higher quality finish, almost proof-like, but not quite the same. Some 1967 SMS pennies have features that make them incredibly rare. One standout is the SMS 1967 penny with deep cameo contrast, where Lincoln's profile looks frosted while the background has a mirror-like surface. These coins, especially in top grades, have fetched very high prices at auction. Collectors today are always on the hunt for these rare variations. They comb through rolls of pennies, attend coin shows, bid on online auctions, and join collector groups, all for a chance to add one of these elusive 1967 rarities to their collection. But here's the most exciting part. You don't have to be a professional collector to strike gold. Everyday people have discovered rare and valuable coins in their pocket change, not realizing their worth until they had them appraised. Yet there's something magical about the idea that a coin worth just 1 cent could be valued like a luxury car. It's the ultimate treasure hunt. And with the growing interest in coin collecting, values continue to rise for well-preserved and rare coins from the past. If you're curious whether your 1967 penny might be valuable, take a close look with a magnifying glass. Look for doubling in the letters, unusual shapes, strange edges, or coins that feel lighter or heavier than usual. Many collectors also recommend weighing your coin. A normal 1967 Lincoln penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours is lighter, heavier, or oddly shaped, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. Another type of error that can boost value, storage matters too. To preserve potential value, keep your coin in a soft cloth or plastic holder. Avoid touching it with bare hands, as oils and dirt can cause damage that reduces the coin's grade. Another way to protect and increase the value of your coin is by getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Certified coins are often more desirable in the market and provide collectors with confidence in what they're buying. Some rare 1967 pennies have made headlines by selling for astonishing amounts at coin shows and online auctions. It's no longer just a dream to turn a penny into a life-changing discovery. It's a reality for many lucky people. Collectors agree that the 1967 penny is becoming harder to find in high grades. With each passing year, the chance of finding a pristine one becomes smaller, which only increases its value and collector appeal. People of all ages, from students to retirees, have started collecting pennies as a hobby and potential investment. It's easy to get started, doesn't cost much, and offers the thrill of discovery every time you search through coins. The Lincoln cent is not just a coin, it's a piece of American history. And the 1967 edition, in particular, stands out as a symbol of an era filled with change, uncertainty, and hope. Its story is etched into every line of Lincoln's face. Next time you see a 1967 penny, don't ignore it. Examine it carefully. It might just be one of the rare errors or high-grade pieces that collectors dream of finding. What looks ordinary could, in fact, be extraordinary. Now for the jaw-dropping truth you've been waiting for. One extraordinary example of a 1967 Lincoln penny, featuring stunning red color, mint state condition, and an extremely rare die error, was recently sold for a record-breaking $186,000. Yes, a single penny, worth just 1 cent in the eyes of most, ended up being worth more than most people's annual salary. That's why coin collecting is so exciting, because treasure can truly be found in the most unexpected places. Top 3. In the world of coin collecting, every year and every detail can make a difference. And when it comes to the 1972 Lincoln 1-cent penny, collectors are absolutely fascinated. This coin might look like just another penny, but some rare versions of it have become legendary and extremely valuable. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American history since 1909. Created to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the penny marked the first time a real person appeared on a regular U.S. coin. Over the decades, it has become one of the most collected coins in the world. Fast forward to 1972, a year full of change, culture, and hidden treasures. While the United States was experiencing everything from political scandals to the Olympic Games, the U.S. Mint was quietly producing millions of Lincoln pennies. But within that sea of copper, a few rare coins stood out. Most 1972 pennies might seem common at first glance. They were struck in high numbers at multiple mints, and the majority looked like what you'd expect: Lincoln's profile on one side and the Lincoln Memorial on the other. But among these ordinary coins are some with extraordinary stories. What really makes the 1972 penny special is a famous minting error that has captured the attention of collectors worldwide. That error is known as the 1972 double die obverse, and it is one of the most dramatic and valuable errors in modern U.S. coin history. If you have a 1972 penny, take a close look at the front, the side with Lincoln's face. If the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" or the date 1972 appear doubled or shadowed, you may be holding one of the rarest pennies ever made. This isn't your average doubling. It's bold and visible to the naked eye. You don't need a microscope to see it. And that's what makes it so exciting for collectors. The doubling happened during the coin's creation, when the die used to stamp the penny was misaligned or shifted during the minting process. But what's incredible is that multiple variations of doubling exist for the 1972 penny. The most valuable is known as the FS 101 double die obverse, which features extreme doubling that's impossible to miss. Coins with this error are few in number and highly sought after. Some collectors spend years searching through rolls of pennies, hoping to find one of these rare 1972 varieties. It's become a sort of legendary hunt in the coin community, and every now and then, someone hits the jackpot. But doubling isn't the only thing collectors look for in 1972 pennies. There are also off-center strikes, where the coin was not properly aligned during minting. Some of these coins may be missing part of the design or have blank areas, making them unique. Another fascinating error is the die break, also known as a cud. This is when part of the die breaks during production, leaving behind a raised blob or mark on the finished coin. These errors are rare and collectible, especially when they occur on the 1972 penny. Then, there's the floating roof variety, a minor but intriguing detail where the roof of the Lincoln Memorial appears to be detached or missing support lines. While not as valuable as major errors, These are still fun finds for new and seasoned collectors alike. One of the most important things in determining a coin's value is condition. Coins that are shiny, untouched, and in near-perfect state are called mint state and are graded from MS 60 to MS 70. The closer to 70, the better and more valuable. But if you find a 1972 penny with the double die error in mint state condition, you're looking at a serious collector's item. Combine the rarity of the error with top-notch preservation, and you have a coin worth thousands or more. Color also matters. Lincoln pennies are graded for tone, red, RD, red-brown, RB, or brown, BN. A full red example in mint state condition is the most prized, especially if it's paired with the FS 101 doubling. Collectors often send valuable coins to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC for authentication and certification. Having a coin officially graded can significantly increase its value on the market. Many of these rare 1972 double die pennies have been found in circulation. That's right, ordinary people have discovered them in pocket change, old jars, or while sorting through coin rolls from the bank. It's a true treasure hunt. Some lucky individuals have even found these rare coins at garage sales, flea markets, and estate auctions. It's all about knowing what to look for and keeping your eyes open for those tiny, yet incredibly valuable, details. And here's something exciting. Only a limited number of these double die errors have been found over the years. That limited supply, combined with increasing demand, means values keep going up as collectors compete to add one to their collection. Even common 1972 pennies in pristine condition can be worth more than face value. But when you add in dramatic errors, high grades, and rarity, you're no longer talking about pennies. You're talking about thousands of dollars. It's also worth noting that the 1972 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, making it heavier and more substantial than modern zinc pennies. The copper alone is worth more than 1 cent, but the true value lies in its collectible nature. Some collectors look for proof-like surfaces on business strike coins, where the coin has an unusual shine or mirrored finish. These are often from fresh dies or newly polished dies and can add a little extra flair and value to your 1972 penny. Proper storage is essential to maintaining a coin's value. Keep your finds in coin holders, flips, or capsules. Avoid touching them directly, as fingerprints and moisture can damage the surface and reduce their grade. You can also join online coin communities and forums where collectors share photos, tips, and success stories. Learning from others can help you spot errors more easily and build your collection more effectively. Coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces like eBay and heritage auctions are places where valuable 1972 pennies have changed hands. Some coins that were once sold for hundreds now fetch thousands. And while collecting can be a hobby, it's also a smart investment. Coins like the 1972 double die penny are part of American history, and their value continues to rise as time passes and their rarity increases. The hunt for valuable coins is fun, educational, and surprisingly profitable. All it takes is curiosity, attention to detail, and a little bit of patience. And who knows, you might just be the next person to discover a hidden treasure in your spare change. The next time you come across a 1972 penny, don't toss it aside. Give it a good look. That 1 cent could be hiding a fascinating story and a whole lot of money. Because one specific example of a 1972 Lincoln penny, featuring the bold double die obverse in perfect mint condition with deep red luster, was recently valued at an astonishing $144,000. Yes, a penny worth just 1 cent in your hand could become the key to unlocking 6 figures in cash. That's the magic of coin collecting. That's the power of the 1972 Lincoln 1 cent. Top 4. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and wondered if it was worth more than just its face value? What if I told you that a simple penny from 1978, yes, just 1 cent, could be worth an incredible fortune? Welcome to the fascinating world of rare coins, where the 1978 Lincoln 1 cent penny has become a true hidden gem. The Lincoln cent, a staple of American coinage, has been in production since 1909. With the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, it's a coin nearly every American has seen and spent. But some years hold secrets, and 1978 is one of those years. At first glance, The 1978 Lincoln penny looks just like every other cent from the 1970s. Millions were minted, and they continue to circulate today. But buried among those millions are rare versions that defy expectations, and collectors across the country are on the hunt. It's important to understand that coin value doesn't come only from age or appearance. What really matters are things like condition, mint errors, and specific die varieties. When those things line up, the value can skyrocket. And that's exactly what happened with some 1978 pennies. In 1978, the U.S. Mint struck Lincoln cents at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, while those from Denver have a D, and San Francisco's mint mark is an S. While mint marks help identify a coin's origin, errors and condition are what make them truly valuable. Among the most exciting finds for collectors are minting errors, and the 1978 penny has a few extraordinary examples. One of the most coveted is the off-center strike. If the design is not properly centered on the coin, it creates a partial image, sometimes with dramatic visual impact. Another key error is the broad strike, where the retaining collar used during minting fails, allowing the coin to spread out larger than normal. These broad-struck 1978 pennies look warped or stretched, and in top condition, they can command serious attention and high prices. Then there are double die errors, where a coin is struck more than once during the minting process, resulting in doubled letters or features. While not as prominent as the famous 1972 double die, there are reported 1978 Lincoln cents with light doubling, especially around the word liberty and the date. Some 1978 pennies also exhibit die cracks or cuts, where part of the die used to mint the coin breaks off. This leads to raised, blob-like shapes on the coin's surface. While small cuts may only increase value modestly, large, unusual shapes can attract serious collector interest. Collectors also keep an eye out for struck-through errors, where a foreign object, such as a thread, piece of metal, or grease, gets between the die and the planchet during minting. These rare occurrences leave unusual imprints on the coin and create a one-of-a-kind specimen. In addition to errors, coin grading plays a huge role in determining a 1978 penny's value. Graded coins are given a score between 1 and 70, with coins scoring 65 or higher considered gem, mint state. A 1978 penny graded MS 67 or above is already worth much more than its face value. Color matters, too. The Lincoln penny is judged based on its original copper color: red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. A full red penny with sharp detail and no signs of wear is far rarer and more valuable than one that has dulled over time. That it's amazing how a coin most people ignore can be such a prized possession to someone who knows what to look for. In fact, many 1978 Lincoln pennies are still sitting in jars, drawers, and old piggy banks, completely unnoticed. Some of the most valuable 1978 pennies have been discovered by ordinary people. A man once found a rare error penny in a handful of change from a vending machine. Another collector discovered a high-grade coin while searching through a roll of pennies bought from the bank. That's the beauty of coin collecting. You never know where the next treasure will appear. It could be in your spare change, a coin roll, or an old coffee can tucked away in the garage. You just have to keep looking. As for mint marks, while most people chase coins from the San Francisco Mint because of the S mark, the real stars are the ones with errors or ultra-high grades, regardless of where they were made. A plain 1978 Philadelphia penny can still be worth a fortune under the right conditions. Let's not forget about proof coins. While 1978 did not have any regular proof pennies struck for circulation, there are proof-like coins that come from freshly prepared dies. These coins have extra shine, strong details, and a reflective surface that's highly desirable to collectors. Protecting your coins is key to preserving their value. Even the smallest scratch, fingerprint, or tarnish can dramatically reduce a coin's grade and its worth. Always handle coins carefully and store them in a holder, capsule, or archival quality coin flip. Collectors often send their best coins to professional grading companies such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. A certified grade not only verifies authenticity, but can double or even triple the coin's market value. Auction sites and collector marketplaces are filled with examples of rare and high-grade 1978 pennies selling for hundreds or thousands of dollars. And while most coins sell modestly, some exceptional ones make headlines with record-breaking prices. The coin market is alive and thriving, with demand for rare U.S. cents continuing to grow. Young collectors, seasoned investors, and even international buyers are constantly searching for the next valuable addition to their collection. So, how do you begin your search? Start with what you already have. Go through your change, check your old coin jars, and buy a few rolls of pennies from the bank. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect each coin closely. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, die cracks, unusual textures, or color differences. Weigh the coins to check for planchet errors. And always pay attention to the finer details, because that's where the value is hidden. Don't be discouraged if you don't find anything right away. Coin collecting takes patience, but the reward is in the hunt. And one day, that hunt might lead you to a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Whether you're collecting for fun, investment, or simply love the thrill of discovery, the 1978 Lincoln penny is a coin worth exploring. Its history, errors, and hidden treasures make it one of the most intriguing modern-era cents in American coinage. The fact that many of these valuable pennies are still out there, waiting to be discovered, makes this journey all the more exciting. It's not just about coins. It's about connecting to history, rarity, and possibility. The next time you hold a penny in your hand, take a moment to really look at it. You might be staring at something far more valuable than it seems, because one extraordinary 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a rare minting error and graded in pristine red mint state condition, was recently valued at a breathtaking $118,000. Top 5. There's something truly magical about coin collecting. A simple coin, something we use every day without a second thought, might actually be a hidden treasure. Today, we turn our spotlight on one of these unexpected gems, the 1979 Lincoln 1-cent penny. It might be small in size, but its story is anything but ordinary. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage since 1909. Introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, it became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it captured a powerful moment in numismatic history. By the time 1979 arrived, the Lincoln penny had been circulating for 70 years. But this was a period of transition and subtle evolution in the coin world. While the design hadn't changed drastically, something unique about the 1979 issues began to intrigue collectors. Millions of pennies were minted in 1979 across 3 primary locations: Philadelphia, with no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. Although the total number produced was huge, not all 1979 pennies are equal. What sets the 1979 penny apart are the rare and unusual variations that emerged during minting. These weren't intentional, but errors caused by shifts in the production process. And they are exactly what today's collectors are hunting for. One of the most talked about variations is the 1979 S-Type 2 proof penny. The San Francisco Mint struck proof coins for collectors, and in 1979, they produced 2 types. The Type 1 had a filled-in S mint mark, while the Type 2 had a clear and sharp S. The Type 2 version is significantly rarer and far more valuable. Another exciting variety is the double die error. Although not as prominent in 1979 as in other years, there are examples of 1979 Lincoln pennies where the inscriptions or numbers appear to be doubled. This error can occur when the die shifts slightly between strikes. Collectors are especially drawn to 1979 pennies that feature doubling on the date or the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." Even a subtle doubling can increase a coin's value dramatically, especially if it's in excellent condition. Off-center strikes are another mint error that can appear on 1979 Lincoln cents. These coins were misaligned during the striking process, causing the design to appear partially missing or skewed. The more off-center the strike, and the clearer the date, the higher the value. Another unusual find is the broad strike error, where the coin appears to have expanded beyond its normal borders, typically due to a malfunctioning retaining collar. These odd-looking coins always draw attention and curiosity. Die cracks and cuds are also worth keeping an eye out for. These raised lines or blobs occur when part of the die breaks during the striking process. The result is a coin with unusual textures or missing design features that collectors love to hunt for, struck through errors, where foreign material like grease, metal shavings, or threads interfere during minting. Can also appear on 1979 pennies. These leave odd impressions or missing parts of the design, making them truly one of a kind. Now let's talk about grading. A coin's condition is one of the biggest factors in determining its value. The Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70, helps collectors and dealers assess quality. Coins graded MS 65 and above are considered gem quality. A 1979 penny in mint state 67 or higher is quite rare, especially with brilliant luster and sharp details. These high-grade coins are more likely to fetch impressive prices, particularly when paired with an error or variety. Color also matters. Lincoln pennies are classified by tone: red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. A bright red penny, preserved in pristine condition, is considered top-tier among collectors. And then there are proof coins, struck using specially prepared dies and polished planchets. These coins have mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs. A 1979 S-Type 2 proof penny with perfect surfaces is among the most desirable modern proof cents. Collectors often submit their best finds to third-party grading services like PCGS and NGC. Having a coin professionally graded and encapsulated boosts both its value and its market trustworthiness. Online marketplaces are filled with listings for rare 1979 pennies. Some are offered at astonishing prices. Proofs, double dies, off-center strikes, and high-grade examples regularly make waves in auctions and coin shows. One of the most fascinating aspects of this hobby is the fact that these treasures often show up in the most unexpected places. A lucky person might find a valuable 1979 penny in a roll from the bank, or even in their daily change. Many people have coins stashed in drawers, piggy banks, or inherited collections. Within those piles could be a valuable 1979 penny just waiting to be discovered. The thrill of that possibility is what keeps collectors excited. Start your own search. Get a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and carefully inspect any 1979 pennies you come across. Look closely at the mint mark, the lettering, the date, and the overall condition. Pay attention to any irregularities, things that seem off, unusual, or out of place. Those little quirks might be the clue that you've found something rare. The copper composition of the 1979 penny is also of interest. At that time, pennies were still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. That changed in 1982 when the mint began using a zinc core and copper plating. So the 1979 penny has more intrinsic metal value than modern cents. Because copper tarnishes over time, storage is important. Keep your coins in a cool, dry place and use holders or capsules to prevent damage. Even a fingerprint can reduce a coin's grade and its worth. Coin collecting isn't just about money. It's also about history, discovery, and passion. Every coin has a story, and the 1979 penny is no exception. It's a symbol of a moment in time, forever preserved in metal, from mint errors and high grades to rare proof types and copper tones. The 1979 Lincoln penny offers collectors a surprising number of opportunities. It's a year that continues to deliver fascinating finds and hidden treasures. If you're just beginning your coin collecting journey, the 1979 penny is a perfect place to start. It's common enough to find, but rare enough to thrill. And who knows? You might stumble upon a coin that makes headlines, because believe it or not, one extraordinary 1979 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a rare mint error and preserved in flawless red mint state condition, was recently valued at an incredible $114,000. Top 6. It's often said that big things come in small packages. And when it comes to coins, that couldn't be more true. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a coin that many people might overlook, the 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it looks like just another copper coin from pocket change. But some of these humble pennies are worth far more than you'd imagine. The Lincoln cent has a rich and powerful legacy. First issued in 1909, this iconic coin was designed to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person and remains a lasting tribute to one of America's greatest leaders. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, featured Lincoln's profile on the front and, beginning in 1959, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design ran until 2008, making it one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. By 1981, the Lincoln penny had already been in circulation for over 70 years. But 1981 was no ordinary year for the Lincoln cent. It marked a turning point, both in terms of production and composition, as changes were on the horizon at the U.S. Mint. This was the final full year in which most Lincoln pennies were made using 95% copper and 5% zinc. Starting in 1982, the Mint began switching to a zinc-based composition due to the rising cost of copper. That means the 1981 penny is one of the last true copper cents. Millions of pennies were minted in 1981, but they came from 3 different mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S on proof coins only. But not all of these coins were created equal. What makes the 1981 Lincoln penny so intriguing is the number of varieties and rare errors that have been discovered by collectors. From double dies to proof-type variations, these small differences have made a big impact in the world of numismatics. One of the most talked about and rare types of the 1981 penny is the 1981 S-Type 2 proof. The San Francisco Mint released 2 proof types in 1981. The Type 1 featured a blurry S mint mark, while the Type 2 had a crisp, clear S. The Type 2 is far more valuable due to its lower mintage. But it's not just proof coins that are exciting. Regular business strike coins from 1981 have also been found with rare double die errors, where parts of the design appear to be shadowed or doubled. Doubling is most commonly seen on the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust. Even the most subtle doubling can drastically increase a coin's value, especially if the coin is in high-grade, mint-state condition. Collectors are willing to pay thousands for a rare 1981 penny that displays clear doubling and has been well preserved. Another error that appears on 1981 pennies is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank isn't properly aligned in the press, causing the design to be off balance. The more dramatic the off-center strike, and the more visible the date, the more valuable the coin. There are also broad-struck pennies, which occur when the retaining collar fails, allowing the metal to spread out beyond its normal boundaries. These errors are instantly recognizable and always catch the eye of collectors. Some 1981 pennies even feature die cracks, die chips, or cuts, minor yet fascinating minting flaws that result from overuse or damage to the dies used to strike the coins. Depending on the size and location, these errors can add considerable value. Let's not forget struck-through errors, where foreign materials like grease or debris interfere during the minting process. These leave behind strange patterns, dents, or voids in the coin's design, and every one is unique. Beyond errors, grading is key when it comes to value. The better the condition, the higher the price. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, and any 1981 penny graded MS 65 or higher is already considered rare. An MS 67 or MS 68. That's where things get seriously exciting. Color is another important factor. Lincoln pennies come in 3 color designations: red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. A full red coin in mint state is the most desirable, especially when combined with a rare error or proof designation. Some 1981 pennies have incredible eye appeal, with deep red luster and sharp, well-struck details. These are the coins that grab attention at auctions and coin shows, and they're often found hidden in old collections or even rolls of pennies from the bank. People sometimes think that valuable coins are impossible to find, but that's not true. Many lucky collectors have found rare 1981 Lincoln pennies in circulation, in pocket change, or tucked away in forgotten coin jars. It happens more often than you might think. That it's this possibility, the chance of discovering a treasure in the most unexpected place, that makes coin collecting such an exciting hobby. Every coin has a story, and some of those stories are worth a fortune. You might even find valuable 1981 pennies at flea markets, garage sales, or antique stores. Many people simply don't know what to look for and let rare coins slip through their fingers. But you can change that by paying attention to the details. Collectors often recommend inspecting coins with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, paying close attention to lettering, the date, the mint mark, and surface condition. Even a small difference can mean big bucks. Another great way to preserve and protect your coins is by using proper storage. Plastic holders, coin flips, or airtight capsules. Keeping a coin safe from fingerprints, dirt, and moisture is essential if you want it to retain its value. And if you suspect you found a rare 1981 penny, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin is more trustworthy to buyers and often sells for significantly more at auction. The coin collecting community is growing rapidly. With social media groups, YouTube channels, and online auction platforms, more people than ever are sharing their finds, showing off their collections, and hunting for new treasures. The 1981 Lincoln penny continues to be a hot topic among collectors, not just because of its errors and varieties, but because it represents the end of an era. The switch to zinc in 1982 makes the 1981 issue one of the last true copper coins, and that adds to its appeal. Whether you're just starting out or you've been collecting for years, the 1981 penny deserves a place on your radar. It's a coin that combines history, rarity, and hidden value, all packed into a single cent. So the next time you come across a 1981 penny, don't just toss it into the change jar. Take a moment to examine it closely, because what looks like an ordinary coin might just be something extraordinary. And believe it or not, one very rare 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring an ultra-rare double die and preserved in flawless red mint state condition, was recently valued at a jaw-dropping $106,000. Top 7. When you think of a penny, you probably think of something common, ordinary, something that gets tossed into jars, pockets, or couch cushions without much thought. But what if I told you that a simple 1982 Lincoln cent could actually be a hidden treasure? The year 1982 was a monumental time for the Lincoln penny, a year of major transition that led to one of the most complex and collectible modern coins in U.S. history. It wasn't just a change in design or minting. It was a change in the coin's very core. For decades, the Lincoln cent had been minted primarily using 95% copper and 5% zinc. But in 1982, due to rising metal costs, the U.S. Mint began switching to a cheaper composition, 97.5% zinc-coated with just 2.5% copper. This decision didn't just affect future pennies. It also made the year 1982 incredibly unique because the Mint produced both copper and zinc versions of the Lincoln penny. As a result, there are 7 known varieties of the 1982 penny, and possibly more undiscovered ones. These 7 types include small and large date versions from both copper and zinc compositions, minted in Philadelphia and Denver. The combination of design and metal variety has created a perfect storm of interest among collectors that tell them apart. Collectors often weigh the coin. A copper 1982 penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while the zinc version weighs only 2.5 grams. This small difference has a massive impact on value, especially when it comes to rare errors and odd combinations. One of the most sought-after types is the 1982 D small date copper penny. Officially, it shouldn't exist. According to records, the Denver Mint was only supposed to make zinc pennies with the small date style. But somehow, a few copper blanks made their way into production. These mystery coins have stunned the coin world. They're incredibly rare, and when one is discovered, it becomes headline news. Only a handful have been confirmed, making them some of the most valuable modern pennies ever struck. Then there are the coins with mint errors that were produced during the chaotic transition process. Double die errors, off-center strikes, and broad-struck examples have been found among the 1982 pennies, and each one can be worth far more than face value. Many collectors love the 1982 penny because of how easy it is to get started. You don't need a huge budget to start looking, just a simple scale, a good eye, and some curiosity. Anyone with enough patience might stumble upon something rare. It's not just about the metal or the size of the date. It's also about the condition of the coin. High-grade examples of 1982 pennies in mint state condition, those with sharp details and flawless surfaces, are far more valuable than worn coins. A coin graded MS 65 or higher can fetch a very good price, especially if it's a rare variety or comes from a low mintage batch. Coins with full red luster are even more desirable, as they show the coin just as it looked when it left the mint. Collectors also look for coins with strong eye appeal, bright surfaces, clean fields, and no distracting marks. These details are crucial when buying or selling rare 1982 pennies at coin shows, auctions, or online. In fact, auction houses have seen heated bidding wars over specific 1982 varieties. Coins that once sat unnoticed in change jars have turned into hot items in the world of numismatics. Some collectors specialize in just this year alone. They try to collect all 7 major types, along with known errors, varieties, and even transitional anomalies. Finding the complete 1982 set is a rewarding challenge. There's also a big debate among collectors about which variety is the most important. Is it the 1982 D small date copper? Or is it a flawless zinc example in MS 68 red? Opinions vary, and that only adds more excitement to the hunt. But what's fascinating is that new discoveries are still being made. Just when collectors think they've seen it all, someone finds another rare error that sparks new interest in this historic coin. That's the beauty of the 1982 Lincoln penny. It's more than a piece of currency. It's a puzzle, a mystery, and a potential jackpot all wrapped into one tiny coin. Teachers, students, and families have all gotten into the search. It's a coin that brings people together, invites curiosity, and turns ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. Imagine checking your change and finding a coin worth thousands. Coin enthusiasts often recommend searching old coin rolls, especially ones that haven't been searched before. You never know when a rare 1982 penny might be hiding in plain sight, just waiting for a trained eye to discover it. Collectors use magnifiers, coin apps, digital scales, and online resources to help identify these special coins. Social media groups are filled with people sharing their 1982 finds and learning from each other. It's also important to store any potential finds properly. Use coin flips, holders, or albums to keep them safe from damage. The better the condition, the more likely the coin will hold or increase in value over time. If you believe you found something special, sending the coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC is the smartest move. A graded and authenticated coin is far more trustworthy and valuable than one left uncertified. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just getting started, the 1982 penny is a fantastic entry point. It's affordable to begin with, easy to research, and endlessly exciting to hunt. Imagine finding a penny that's been sitting quietly in a drawer or coin jar for years, something you passed by hundreds of times, only to realize it's a key variety that could make your coin collection or bank account significantly richer. The market for these coins continues to grow. More people are learning about the 1982 Lincoln cent every day, and the demand is keeping prices high, especially for well-preserved examples and rare types. And just when you think it's only about hobby and history, you discover the mind-blowing part. One particularly rare and pristine 1982 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a small date, struck in copper, and preserved in mint condition, was valued at an astonishing $103,000. When you think of a penny, you probably think of something common, ordinary, something that gets tossed into jars, pockets, or couch cushions without much thought. But what if I told you that a simple 1982 Lincoln cent could actually be a hidden treasure? The year 1982 was a monumental time for the Lincoln penny, a year of major transition that led to one of the most complex and collectible modern coins in U.S. history. It wasn't just a change in design or minting. It was a change in the coin's very core. For decades, the Lincoln cent had been minted primarily using 95% copper and 5% zinc. But in 1982, due to rising metal costs, the U.S. Mint began switching to a cheaper composition, 97.5% zinc-coated with just 2.5% copper. This decision didn't just affect future pennies. It also made the year 1982 incredibly unique because the Mint produced both copper and zinc versions of the Lincoln penny. As a result, there are 7 known varieties of the 1982 penny, and possibly more undiscovered ones. These 7 types include small and large date versions from both copper and zinc compositions, minted in Philadelphia and Denver. The combination of design and metal variety has created a perfect storm of interest among collectors that tell them apart. Collectors often weigh the coin. A copper 1982 penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while the zinc version weighs only 2.5 grams. This small difference has a massive impact on value, especially when it comes to rare errors and odd combinations. One of the most sought-after types is the 1982 D small date copper penny. Officially, it shouldn't exist. According to records, the Denver Mint was only supposed to make zinc pennies with the small date style. But somehow, a few copper blanks made their way into production. These mystery coins have stunned the coin world. They're incredibly rare, and when one is discovered, it becomes headline news. Only a handful have been confirmed, making them some of the most valuable modern pennies ever struck. Then there are the coins with mint errors that were produced during the chaotic transition process. Double die errors, off-center strikes, and broad-struck examples have been found among the 1982 pennies, and each one can be worth far more than face value. Many collectors love the 1982 penny because of how easy it is to get started. You don't need a huge budget to start looking, just a simple scale, a good eye, and some curiosity. Anyone with enough patience might stumble upon something rare. It's not just about the metal or the size of the date. It's also about the condition of the coin. High-grade examples of 1982 pennies in mint state condition, those with sharp details and flawless surfaces, are far more valuable than worn coins. A coin graded MS 65 or higher can fetch a very good price, especially if it's a rare variety or comes from a low mintage batch. Coins with full red luster are even more desirable, as they show the coin just as it looked when it left the mint. Collectors also look for coins with strong eye appeal, bright surfaces, clean fields, and no distracting marks. These details are crucial when buying or selling rare 1982 pennies at coin shows, auctions, or online. In fact, auction houses have seen heated bidding wars over specific 1982 varieties. Coins that once sat unnoticed in change jars have turned into hot items in the world of numismatics. Some collectors specialize in just this year alone. They try to collect all 7 major types, along with known errors, varieties, and even transitional anomalies. Finding the complete 1982 set is a rewarding challenge. There's also a big debate among collectors about which variety is the most important. Is it the 1982 D small date copper? Or is it a flawless zinc example in MS 68 red? Opinions vary, and that only adds more excitement to the hunt. What's fascinating is that new discoveries are still being made. Just when collectors think they've seen it all, someone finds another rare error that sparks new interest in this historic coin. That's the beauty of the 1982 Lincoln penny. It's more than a piece of currency. It's a puzzle, a mystery, and a potential jackpot all wrapped into one tiny coin. Teachers, students, and families have all gotten into the search. It's a coin that brings people together, invites curiosity, and turns ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. Imagine checking your change and finding a coin worth thousands. Coin enthusiasts often recommend searching old coin rolls, especially ones that haven't been searched before. You never know when a rare 1982 penny might be hiding in plain sight, just waiting for a trained eye to discover it. Collectors use magnifiers, coin apps, digital scales, and online resources to help identify these special coins. Social media groups are filled with people sharing their 1982 finds and learning from each other. It's also important to store any potential finds properly. Use coin flips, holders, or albums to keep them safe from damage. The better the condition, the more likely the coin will hold or increase in value over time. If you believe you found something special, sending the coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC is the smartest move. A graded and authenticated coin is far more trustworthy and valuable than one left uncertified. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just getting started, the 1982 penny is a fantastic entry point. It's affordable to begin with, easy to research, and endlessly exciting to hunt. Imagine finding a penny that's been sitting quietly in a drawer or coin jar for years, something you passed by hundreds of times, only to realize it's a key variety that could make your coin collection or bank account significantly richer. The market for these coins continues to grow. More people are learning about the 1982 Lincoln cent every day, and the demand is keeping prices high, especially for well-preserved examples and rare types. And just when you think it's only about hobby and history, you discover the mind-blowing part. One particularly rare and pristine 1982 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a small date, struck in copper, and preserved in mint condition, was valued at an astonishing $103,000. More people are learning about the 1982 Lincoln cent every day, and the demand is keeping prices high, especially for well-preserved examples and rare types. And just when you think it's only about hobby and history, you discover the mind-blowing part. One particularly rare and pristine 1982 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a small date, struck in copper, and preserved in mint condition, was valued at an astonishing $103,000.